Israel's goal and mission with these wars is to steal your soul, your consciousness, because they work for evil entities, evil energies. I promise you this is true. Now, I know that many of us, we don't even watch science fiction thriller movies anymore because it's like you just watch the news, you just scroll like your YouTube feed and it's like, whoa, what is happening? Yeah, so now I'm going to show you a clip from Professor Jiang. I discovered this man just 2 or 3 days ago, and I love his points of view in this. After, I'm going to continue explaining, like going further about why they really want to have your consciousness and your soul, and why the material resources, these are just means for them to get in the point of literally trying to control your consciousness using AI. The ultimate goal is to use AI to shoot thoughts in your brain, thinking that they can actually control your free will as a soul. They are so delusional. Oh my God. So now let's play this clip.
This is a war not just for Iran. This is a war not just for the Middle East. It is a war for the soul of humanity. World War III is meant to be the last and final war of all human history, because whoever wins this war will control the very soul of human existence. The game that you think they're playing is not the game they're playing. The reward that you think they want is not the reward that they want, okay? We think in terms of material things, okay? So money, resources, power.
Now, here's something interesting that he said. Well, like many, many things, but one of the things is that this will be the last war. And I agree. I agree. I believe that, let's just make it even more science fiction and more crazy. I really believe 100% that they know that extraterrestrial, that galactic beings will come back. They know that they have something to do, or they know that they tricked the human being, the Homo sapiens sapiens, to create us. So now they know also that religions are based in theophanies. Like people back then, they will see these spaceships and they will believe they were gods. And then, of course, they will believe like, okay, when I will die, I will go to heaven because they will live in spaceships too. I will go to heaven with God. Now, they believe in these theophanies, and I'm talking specifically about Jews, about Judaism itself, like the evil people, the elite, Israel elite. I believe in the vibration of words and the sound made outcome, as I say, of words. It's not a coincidence. A word means something. So the Israel elite, they are spiritual people that work for evil entities, but simultaneously, they know that galactic beings exist, and they know that Judaism itself, it was created from that misunderstanding. So they use a kind of mix between Judaism beliefs, like based in that religion, I mean, and working for evil forces. These evil forces imply sacrificing kids and so much more. So now they know that the end of evil, of the vibration of evil in the earth, has expired. So they are literally just grasping the last like vibration pieces of evil in this planet. Now, why it will be the last war is because I know, again, 100% I'm sure that the galactic beings will come back, and they will come back officially. They will be among us, and this will happen as, like in my book, I said maximum 2030, but I believe that it can be as soon as now. It can be as soon as these crazy, evil people try to do something crazy or provoke something crazy, which is more their style. So what they do usually is they just poke everybody, so everybody fight each other and everybody kill each other, basically. This is what they do. So people are very scared because they think that Israel will use nuclear weapons. I don't think so. I believe that they will poke everybody, so Pakistan uses nuclear weapons. Okay, so now they are masters in evil manipulation and playing the victims, and it worked really well for them, obviously. Now, I believe that it will be the last war, basically because galactic beings will intervene. Now, many will think, they cannot intervene in every stupid thing we do. No, but they will intervene for two reasons this time. And one is because nuclear weapons disrupt the electromagnetic fields of their own environment and planet. Okay. And also because our consciousness awareness as collective raised so much into we don't want evil anymore. Like in your individual life reality, you are purging. You're clean, you're purging. You don't allow toxicity anymore in your life. You are less scared of letting go people and things that you don't choose to have as a life experience. You are becoming more brave and becoming your dreams and so much more. So that is shared with the collective consciousness. And what is happening is that the earth is purging from evil. Now, Israel is an illness, it's a toxic illness in the planet. And all the religions that misunderstood God as something outside of you, that used God to divide and conquer, are evil too. And if some people think, well, like, but not all Jews are evil, or not all Judaism is evil, well, like, but many, many things in that Bible, whatever they want to call it, is evil. And they're very proud of it. So I don't know, just create a new one, create a new religion and call it a different thing if you don't want to be related to those evil people. Which, by the way, the last time I checked, the 98.2% of Israeli and Jews support their government. Now, I believe then that I agree with Professor Jiang. This will be the last war, but because the aliens, the extraterrestrial, will intervene. Because, again, we raised our consciousness, and that is why, as he says, this war is about consciousness, because they know that if you get enlightened, real enlightened, and you get into the fifth-dimensional consciousness awareness, you are not your brain anymore. They cannot control you, because the consciousness and the soul is what created the brain. And it's your free will. They can't control it. No, they are just grasping the last evil energies, so they're creating wars, and simultaneously they are in the kind of a hope of, okay, let's see, just like create super quick AI, and then we can try to shoot neural pathways into the brain of people, and then maybe then we can reprogram them to not seek into practicing becoming the fifth dimension. So it's not like they can control consciousness or the soul, because again, that's a free will. They cannot, but they can use the brain, okay, to reprogram your brain so you never even look into raising your consciousness awareness, into expanding your consciousness awareness, into activating your pineal gland, which is not the third eye, it's the first eye. Now, I had a near-death experience back in 2020, and it was a superhuman one. I wasn't spiritual. I didn't believe in any of this. Zero. Like, well, like, I believe there is some energy that governs things, but like that's all. Like, I never even thought really about it. So 2020, I'm sitting trying to overcome another panic attack. Started meditating just to be able to go outside to buy groceries, and I find myself in like in this moment where I was like feeling that I was dying. Because, if you have panic attacks, like, you can feel like you're dying in the worst hell possible. So I was so tired of feeling that I was scared of dying every time I had a panic attack, that I just let go so much while being aware in my meditation, made peace with life. It was kind of like dropping the mic, bye-bye, I'm okay if I die. I didn't expect that I would die. Crazy is that I did die. My heart stopped physically. I'm not talking about a hippie ego death, like, oh, your ego, death ego, you cannot be a self or whatever. No, I'm talking about literally stopping, like, no brain activity, no heartbeat, and left my body completely, went through the famous tunnel of light, which is not a tunnel of light, it's a wormhole to switch dimensions and to become heaven, because you don't go to heaven, you become heaven. Heaven is a dimension. Now, once in heaven, you're pure consciousness, you're God consciousness, you are God. I am. I didn't know any of this. I came back with this information and I continued downloading this. 2 weeks after I started writing the book, The Law of Becoming, I'm gonna read you like some related part now just after this video. And it's about enlightenment, transformation, the fifth dimension, sustaining your fifth dimensional consciousness in the fourth physical body without disappearing, because I was really physically disappearing when I came back. I realized I struggle a lot with what I realized. I could only call the rainbow body. I could just know the word because, of course, I was the information, so I could access to anything. Years after, I realized that monks, that specific Buddhist monks, they practice the rainbow body as the highest form of enlightenment. I didn't know that. Okay, so now, like, all of this is written in my book. It is not released, but guess what? It is written in my book, and I finished this book like years ago, and it's a 1,500 pages book. The Jews and Israel and their evil intention, like everything that is happening right now. And their obsession to find the philosopher's stone and the Holy Grail, and then like going to Iraq and creating all these wars because they want to find all these Sumerian tablets, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and maybe even the Gilgamesh tomb, because they really want to have it also the secret for immortality, for physical immortality. Well, like there is so much more, but now just like put it together with Professor Jiang.
We think that the war is being fought over these things, and it's not. The real power, the real currency, human consciousness. This war is being fought to control the consciousness of the human race, because it is our consciousness that creates reality itself. That's the source of all wealth and all power in this world. Okay?
Now, consciousness, okay, is awareness. Awareness is consciousness. Consciousness, awareness, and reality is the same. I am is God, is this energy field becoming conscious that it was conscious. I'm aware that I'm aware. I am. And you can only be aware of you, of being something, when you can observe something else, the another kind of you. So it's split, it creating dimensions and soul perspectives of itself. Now, again, I came back with this information. I had no idea about any of this. Now, he said something super interesting at the end, which is they know that that consciousness creates reality. And that is why also they've been lying and manipulating for so long, playing the victims, because they know that if we believe them as the victims, and that if we believe them as the good ones, as the victims, as the right ones, then they will have time basically to accumulate wealth, like material wealth, okay, to organize as communities. They're really good at it, and they're very patient, very evil, patient people. To then, in the perfect moment in time, to go for the really wealth that they want to have, which is power over every single soul and human from evil. Because again, they work with evil entities. Because in this planet, a while back, it was this kind of energetic agreement where you could come here to have a kind of like no, the polarization of good and bad. And it was really good for it. The environment, it was really good for it. So evil forces, they were feeding from this planet. But now we raise the consciousness of this planet to this point that they are becoming allergic to us. They can't sustain this energy. So they are just pushing it to create, again, the last evil they can, the last war, as he just said. So then like two options. Oh, they just like purge, like the earth will purge, because as within, so without, and they just create the last wars, and they try to kill and suffer and make people suffer like to the maximum that they can. So they feed in that last resources of evil, and then they will leave. Like that's the idea. Or if they somehow they can even survive that and continue being here, then they will also try to control your brain, so you never wonder and never sit down to meditate or like to allow your expansion of consciousness and becoming really enlightenment, which requires an event. Enlightenment is not a process. Enlightenment is like you practice enlightenment, and at one point you will literally be struck by a lightning. It's a real thing. It's a moment that happens something to you. It's like the most huge heart and brain orgasm like possible, like in your imagination. Like it's impossible even to grasp. It's a thing, and then you perceive beyond Neo in the movie The Matrix. So it's not like, oh, now I feel more loving, I'm more compassionate, I'm enlightened. No, you are not. You have to switch dimensions because the pineal gland is a multidimensional antenna. Now they are in a race of like, whoa, people are like not so many, but like some of us, just a few of us, did had a real fifth dimensional enlightenment experience. But that experience is so strong, even if we are so not so many of us, that it created a huge ripple in this planet. Plus, all the other people that are working towards being more in cognition of their limiting thoughts and behaviors, reprogramming the brain, sustaining the elevated state of being, they're all collaborating to creating this elevated consciousness of the earth. So the earth is getting enlightened, so you are getting enlightened too, as within, so without. Now, awareness creates reality, and that's why, again, they control the narrative of everything. They control the narrative of everything. Like they even like the school books of your kids, the school books that I was reading when I was a kid, they come from them. Like the way of living, the taxes thing, like everything that you don't like, actually, like in your reality, they created it. They created it so they could keep you just slave and ill and sick and depressed and anxious, so they could just like lower your energy even more. So you will even have it more difficult for you to just break free and become your expanded consciousness awareness as the multidimensional superhuman being that you can be, because you are that potential. Okay. Now they like, what is my opinion of if they will win these two options or not? Like the options of like just to destroy everything as much as they can and feed from that energy because they are very lost and they know it, or they will do that anyways, but maybe they will survive it and then they will just like brainwash us with like AI, like electromagnetic frequencies. So again, it's not that they will control your consciousness because they cannot control that, but they will control your brain, which they can control. So you don't even seek and look for your consciousness. So you just like, but of course, that experience also will be your free will, even if they're like whatever, anything that happens to you is your free will. So even if they made it and they do something that they block us from becoming higher consciousness states of being by blocking our brain from even wondering about that, that would be your consciousness awareness free will decision. So now I'm just gonna put this out, and because I realize I don't need it anymore, and I'm just gonna put some things together here because this is super interesting. Uh, Remember the war in Iraq? So this is like one of the pages of my book, The Law of Becoming. Okay, and I just looked here for the Epic of Gilgamesh. So I mentioned the Epic 45 times. I didn't prepare any of this, but just for you to see how everything is connected, okay? Now, let's go a little bit back here. Look, here. Okay. All Sumerian and Mesopotamian tablets predate, obviously, the biblical text, yet many prefer to believe that it is written what is written in the Bibles, which tells you a lot about the third dimensional humankind limiting mind when they can't see beyond anything, I say. Then I say, okay, the Epic of Gilgamesh is one of them that apparently was discovered in the ancient city of Nineveh, located in the present-day Iraq, Uruk, after Nineveh and Nimrud were excavated. Now, I believe that Nimrud, most probably and not could be Gilgamesh, which was a semigod, created probably directly from Ninursag, which was for me the original Virgin Mary, the one that the galactic being, the extraterrestrial being, sister of Enki and Enlil, that were working in a lab in Iraq, which in the Bible they know as the Garden of Eden. I believe that most probably know that Garden of Eden was a lab for tweaking genes and make it possible to tweak that Homo sapiens sapiens. So it is probably that the first human, like the first man, the first Homo sapiens sapiens was created in vitro through Ninursag, that galactic being. Now, not only Adam and Eve, but also probably Nimrod and or Gilgamesh, which probably are the same person, who was a giant and was a semi-god, again, because he was made from the gods, from the clay of gods. Now, who are gods? Again, as I just mentioned, galactic beings coming here in spaceships. Now, located in the present-day Iraq after the time, okay, it is known that the most complete work have been discovered in the ruins of an Assyrian king's library. Okay. Okay, so here, a new tablet surfaced in 2011 in Iraqi Kurdistan through an amnesty program targeting smuggled artifacts. Despite uncertain origins, it's likely originated from illegal excavations in southern Iraq post-April 2003. Now, that's right, I say, barely 1 month after the beginning of the Iraq War, also known as the Second Gulf War, that began on March 2003, when a United States coalition invaded Iraq. Now we know that it was Israel, because basically United States and Israel are the same. So Israel, evil Israel, and the evil Jews were looking for Sumerian tablets, specifically the ones related with Nimrod, and probably even for the tomb of Nimrod, because they maybe found the tomb of Nimrod that they can think in the delusion, they can maybe like understand its composition and how he was kind of this like superhuman being. And again, I tell you, like, we all have this potential and you have to activate yourself. Being a superhuman being is about perception. It's about becoming the fifth dimension. You don't go to the fifth dimension. So that is why, like, of course, stargates, as I say here, can work, but stargates can like, I mean, this is so complicated because like your physical body will disintegrate literally if you go through a stargate with your vibration. So you are the stargate. Your body, like your electromagnetic body, with the electromagnetic heart and the pineal gland, because they are connected. That's the stargate. Like that's the stargate. And you become that stargate, and then you can become different dimensions, and you can become different experiences, different realities, and activate your superhuman powers that are tangible, are literally tangible. Now, not only that, because you will become multidimensional, you will stop aging because you will not perceive linear time. So now you are immortal. So now you at least could live thousands of years, because there is a kind of a price to pay in linear time perception. Like even if you don't perceive it from the fifth dimensional state, but you perceive things like kind of outside of you. Now, like there is so much about the Epic of Gilgamesh, but I wanna like unify it with immortality, because I think it's, and Ninursag, because I talk a lot about these two, and the Virgin Mary and all of this, and like Abrahamic religion. So okay, like I'm not used to use this computer to do this, so I don't know how to do it. But anyways, like as you see here, like everything is so connected, like Gilgamesh and Anunnaki and Noah, Utnapishtim. Everything is super, super connected to what is happening now. Yeah. So anyways, I hope that this inspired you to follow for more. Oh my God, I lost the book here. Now, hope that this inspired you to follow for more. There is so much I would love to share with you from my book, The Law of Becoming, and subscribe And remember, if you want to become anything you want in your life, you have to become it to become it. Find my resources and join the Law of Becoming for transformation, enlightenment, real superhuman powers, fifth dimension consciousness, healing, resetting your body, manifestation of all kinds, and so much more. Love us.